Hey everyone, Bridget here at the AAFE Training Center. We are just going to be doing some lifting threads on my patient. So we really wanted to focus on her lower face. The jowls and the jawline are what she really wanted to target. She has a big interview coming up, so we really wanted to target that lower face. And we decided to skip the nasolabial folds. She actually just came in today because she started noticing those nasolabial folds, so we ended up adding those later. But as you can see, I went ahead and numbed her at the pilot site. I used Lido and Epi. I do add a little bit of sodium bicarb to help with discomfort. It just kind of like takes the burning sensation away. And then I'm using my 18 gauge pilot hole at both of those sites just to create an opening where I'm going to go in with my cannula and deliver more numbing, and then also creating a track so that my threads can easily glide through the tissue. So as you can see, her tissue is pretty thick and firm, and it's very, very difficult to get through. She's had a lot of procedures done, including lifting threads, really everything you can imagine she's had. And she also does a lot of collagen stimulating procedures, so it's going to be more difficult to get through her tissue. And then she also has a lot of acne scarring. So both of those things contribute to having more difficulty getting through the skin. So you'll see me, I kind of struggle at points just because it is more difficult to get through her tissue. I am using the Arte 3 17 gauge by 100 millimeter thread. And with these threads, you're going to get the maximum amount of lift, but you just want to be careful on who you're using them on. Somebody with thinner skin or somebody who is very, very fair, you're going to be able to see this thread and notice it, and it's going to lead to more complications. So as you can see, I kind of struggled there at the end. I made sure to take my little plastic piece out at the top just so that my thread will engage. And as you can see, I'm struggling to get this thread to engage. Like I said, her tissue is very, very difficult, so this is a more complex case anyway, and then let alone the 17 gauges are very, very thick threads themselves, so it's just more difficult to use, and they're not as user-friendly as the smaller gauge threads. So I always recommend kind of starting with the 18 gauge or the 19 gauge just to get a feel for what it feels like doing lifting threads, and then once you feel a little bit more comfortable, then try to go in with those 17s. So then I'm going back into the jawline. She usually doesn't numb for any procedures, but I always like to, also just to create a track. So I do deliver a little bit of numbing, and then I'm going back in with my thread. You can see how the jawline line that I created is now very curved, and that's because she had a great lift on this side on her jowl. So like I said, I'm going to take my little plastic piece out like I did before. That just is holding the thread on, so if I were to not take that out, the thread would not engage at all. And that thread right there had no difficulty getting that to engage. So I always do a little reverse pull. That just ensures that the thread is engaged, and then it also gives me a little bit more of a lift, so it maximizes the appearance of the lift. And then I noticed that her jowl on this side was still a little heavier than what I wanted, so I decided to go back up to the jowl vector and create another thread. So again, I'm just doing that same thing over here. So you'll see that I'm now trimming the threads. We just use sterile scissors that come in a suture removal kit, and I trim those as close to the tissue as possible. And you can see she has a little bit of puckering, so I'm going to take some arnica and smooth all of that out. You'll actually feel, and the patient will most likely hear, the threads engaging when you're doing this. So you can see that it's puckering a little bit. That just means it needs a good massage. And now you can see it's completely released. If your patient ever has one of those, once they go home, completely fine. Just either bring them back or tell them to apply some heat. That will break down the thread quicker and get rid of any puckering. And as you can see, she had a great result and was so excited. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, you can take our PDO lifting course, and we teach level 1 and level 2, including the face, the neck, and the brow. Thanks so much.